Hi there and welcome to this email marketing, a comprehensive guide to email marketing video training. Now, just as an introduction, my name is Sam Nuku and I'm a blogger, author, marketer and coach from www.samnuku.com. And email marketing isn't a sexy topic, but here's what actually makes it sexy. The potential to make $40,000 to $50,000 with one email to just be sent out, that's pretty mind-blowing. Let me share with you something that my coach shared with me when I initially was talking about email marketing with him and whether it was actually worth getting into it or not. And this will always resonate with me. I'll always remember this. And what he actually said was email marketing is a very powerful, and you'll come to realize this when you can send out one email and earn $20,000, or in my case where I earn anywhere between $40,000 and $50,000. I mean, those numbers are just absolutely mind-blowing, and that gives you a taste or an insight as to the potential of what email marketing actually is. Now, in this video, I'm going to be discussing what email marketing campaigns are. I'll give you some tips as well as best practices as it pertains to email marketing. Now, the Jerry Seinfeld email marketing methodology, it's about connecting with people personally, not necessarily sharing facts or figures. If you don't know about the TV show, it literally is a TV show about nothing. In fact, if you look up the dialogue between the characters when they actually sat down and spoke about or tried to pitch the actual TV show itself, it was quite interesting. Basically, the show was about Jerry's day, night, and weekend, right? Essentially a normal person. He was a comedian, so essentially what we're trying to say is you should email about nothing. Well, at least kinda anyway. What that actually means is that you should email about your everyday life. Let people into your life so that they can actually connect with you. As we mentioned earlier on, it's actually email marketing is all about connecting with people on a personal level, as well as providing some powerful content. By basically opening up your own life, you're allowing connectivity. So you can use your everyday nothings, or as you may think they are, to actually email and connect with people. So like, for example, I went and watched a movie once with my family, my 5-year-old and my 3-year-old, and we watched The Good Dinosaur. My 3-year-old is in love with dinosaurs, and there were actually some pretty amazing motivational and inspirational quotes in that movie. I looked them up so I could get them verbatim, and I actually emailed out that night about the lessons that I'd learned from that actual movie. Now, you see, going to a movie might seem like it has nothing to do with internet marketing, and in a way it does, but it does in this respect in terms of email marketing, because you can actually share your personal happenings in your life with your email marketing list. Now, the launch secret email marketing is actually a different method. It's not Seinfeld, it's quite the opposite. It's very strategic and purposeful. This allows you to turn leads into customers, and the purpose behind this is to basically take people through a very specific methodology or pathway so that they can actually lead from prospects to becoming customers. Okay, so the most popular way of doing it is to take people through 3 profitable infomedias. And you want to start it off by going through open loops. In other words, you ask a question and then you provide the answer later. It intrigues people to be able to hang around to watch that entire video or read that entire email in this particular case, so that people actually hang around and catch everything else that you want to show them in between. The content you provide is valuable. You don't want to waste people's time. You want to actually give them some tips and strategies that they can use, beyond just motivational or mindset sort of stuff. So for example, if I was to do one on email marketing, a launch sequence, that is, it would be video 1 would be an example is email marketing campaign, video 2 would be all about email marketing tips, video number 3 would be about email marketing best practices, and then video 4 would be about the email marketing product that I'm offering, perhaps maybe a course or some coaching that I'm trying to sell people into. Okay, so what you'd actually do is you'd combine the Seinfeld method and the launch secret method, and you'd probably use Seinfeld, I'd say maybe 3 out of 4 weeks or even 5 out of 6 weeks of the time, depending obviously on how long you can hold out in terms of sales to really build that pipeline per se. And my suggestion is to provide 80% information, 20% pitch. And even if you want to push it to 90-10, that's a great idea as well. So you want to use your Seinfeld methodology quite often, and you want to use the launch sequence only when you're going to be offering a product. And no, you don't want to be offering a product every single day. You want to pick and choose your times so that you get a massive influx of sales and you're providing so much value to people that you would actually gain more out of that one-off sale than you would if you were sold every single time. So here's some email marketing tips I want to share with you. It's all about your customer and not you, and quite often people forget about this. I had a gentleman reach out to me recently, and it was through an email, and we were conversing back and forth, and in the end basically he got frustrated because I wouldn't join his program for my own personal reasons. But the thing that came across to me is he basically spat the dummy, had a bit of a whinge and moan afterwards, saying that, oh, look at everything that I've done for you and blah 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 blah. Well, quite frankly, he'd only sent me 3 or 4 messages, and he's wanting me to join his coaching program. I don't see that as value at all. In fact, he didn't really answer any questions at all. I think he answered one, and that was about it. So make it not about you, make it about your customer. Tip number 2 is to answer your dream clients' challenges. Everything you do is built around your dream clients, your ideal customer, your customer avatar, and the names are endless. If you want to learn a little bit more about this, go onto my blog and search for ideal clients, and I've got an entire write-up blog post specifically about this. And what you want to do is basically answer the challenges of what your dream clients are. And the reason being is that by providing those answers, you'll naturally attract those clients to you, allowing you to do better business than probably most actually would, instead of just aiming for anything and everyone. Use stories is a valuable tip. When you convey, it is good to convey facts and figures and numbers and results and so on and so forth. But we as human beings are conditioned from tens of thousands of years of history to be sitting around that campfire and sharing stories with each other, and that's how folk tales are shared down to us. You think about any great TV show, any great movie, a lot of it comes from people sharing stories, and by sharing stories you connect with that character, which heightens the experience of that particular movie or TV show. You need to do the same thing with your email marketing, and using stories is the same connection as the Jerry Seinfeld emails, right? So tip number 4 is to share how-tos. How-tos are great because it provides a lot of value to your customers. And obviously there needs to be a balance between everything that you're sharing with them. You obviously can't just share how-tos all the time, because there are only a certain amount of facts and figures that you can actually share, but also people don't connect with how-tos, right? But they do absolutely need some value out of being on your list. Now, don't be a product flogger. Me personally, this is something that I hate, and this is a name that I actually just created myself, just through my own experience. There was one particular gentleman that I joined his list because he had a great video on YouTube that was about 30 minutes that taught me about keyword marketing, or at least it taught me a method that I had never considered prior, and I thought that was great. I definitely wanted more, and so I opted into his list. Essentially within the first week I bought one of his products, which was great, and the product delivered what it was supposed to do. It was a lot more difficult than what he stated, so I felt I felt a bit let down by that actual sale, by that purchase, sorry. But what was worse is that once I bought that product, I believe he segmented me onto a buyer's list, because then every second email that he sent me from there on out was pitching another affiliate product. And this is another downside for me personally about affiliate marketing, but we will go into that another day. So don't be a product flogger, okay? Provide a lot of stories, provide a lot of how-tos, answer your dream clients' challenges. Don't treat this as a list. Treat your email marketing list as if they were customers and that they just needed time to make that decision of becoming one. Use your email to connect. I mentioned this earlier on in terms of what you need to do with email and what it was all about. Use this and you'll be able to connect naturally just by sharing stories with people, and it's definitely something that you need to be focusing on. Have an email marketing strategy, and we will talk about this a little bit further soon enough, okay? So email marketing best practices. Number 1, email marketing list. There are buyers and prospects, and this is something that I learned from the great Russell Brunson. is that he taught me that you want to be able to segment your list as soon as you possibly can into buyers and prospects. And because the reason being is that they are two very different groups of people with two very different mindsets. And the reason it's so important to segment it as soon as possible is so that you can communicate the correct message via email marketing. Okay, so number 2 is to try email marketing for free. And what I actually meant by that is that there are a number of platforms out there that you can actually use, and you can actually trial them for free. MailChimp, for example, is free with limited features. GetResponse, for example, which is who I recommend, you can actually get a 30-day trial. Don't feel like you need to get into email marketing and commit to a 1 year, $100 plus product. Now you can actually start with a 30-day free trial and figure out whether it's for you. Number 3 is you need to set up an email autoresponder. And no, I'm not actually talking about setting up some sort of amazing sequence of 60 to 90 days of, where it's all set out and basically you don't need to have to worry about anything. The way I set it up is email with the autoresponder is that for the first week I have an autoresponder, and that is for a very specific reason. The reason for that is because in the very first week I want to make sure that when people join my list that they're not joining during a launching sequence phase. I want them to join and have immediate value given to them through the training that I provide. And you can actually go to my blog to see what kind of training that actually is. As opposed to, if they were to land on my list when it was a launch sequence happening, and whilst I was providing some value, what if they joined when I was offering a sale and they didn't know anything about me? The fact is that people never buy on their very first impression. People buy on average on their 7th personal touch with you, whether that be your blog, your Facebook page, YouTube, your website, right? So emails are great in that sense, because if you've got a 1 week setup, you can provide nothing but value, and for a fact that by the end of that 1 week that you've provided so much value that anyone who was serious about buying from you is actually going to be buying from you. Okay, then you can start getting back to point number 1 and segmenting those lists. Number 4 is email marketing services. Now I do actually have my link below. As I've mentioned, there are a number of email marketing services that you can use, and yes, they are all good, okay, for their very own reasons. Me personally, I've tried a lot of them. I'm not even going to go into it at this point. You can visit my blog if you want my complete write-up. But email marketing services, there are so many of them that you can visit and you can try out. I highly recommend GetResponse. Again, I don't really want to go into the details because I've already written about that. But GetResponse is a great combination of service provided, training provided, platform provided, free trial provided at a good price. Okay. So the other thing I want to talk about is in email marketing software. I have tried a number of these softwares, and I'm going to tell you right now to stay away from them. Whilst it might be appealing that you can make a one-off payment and never have to think about that ever again, that's not true, even though that's the way it's actually marketed. The truth of the matter is when you purchase a specific software, you get access to that level. So let's say, for example, you get email marketing software version 1. When they update to version 2, which will be at some point in the next 6 to 12 months, you have to pay for that upgrade. Okay, so why wouldn't you just for the first instance trial it free, as I mentioned in tip number 2, but also tip number 4 is to try out an email marketing service that you pay a small monthly fee to, right, to be able to have connectivity and essentially a global business, because you can email anyone in the world that joins you, as opposed to buying a software that is absolutely going to have problems. A lot of them are banned from the major emailing platforms, Google, Gmail and so on, as opposed to the services which give you a much better chance of a higher delivery rate. Number 6 is email marketing templates, and this is something that's a little bit borderline on. Email marketing templates are great in terms of having a template that you can actually email from, because it's good in terms of it provides a level of professionalism as it's perceived from your prospect. But it's bad in the sense that if you were to copy templates word for word and just insert your name or product, You know, people have been around and their BS meters are on higher than ever before because people are educated to all the a lot of the marketing that's hitting them constantly, you know, whether it be from email marketing or Google marketing or internet marketing or billboards that they drive past every single day. People are numb to it, okay, and they don't vibe with it anymore. I'd much prefer you send out a daily sequence, which you can do quite easily, and this is what I've mentioned here actually. Tip number 7 is to email your lists daily. Okay, so if you segment it off to a buyers and prospects, obviously you're going to email it twice, but initially you're just going to have one list, which you're going to email to once a day. Okay, and whilst I suggest that you email 7 times a week, you don't necessarily have to, but I recommend at a bare minimum you email from Monday to Friday, so that's 5 times. Weekends are sort of hit and miss, and the reason I say that is because people are obviously living their lives on the weekend. You know, they're doing the things that they enjoy, spending time with the people they want to. So emailing on the weekends are sort of hit and miss. Sometimes you can get great results, sometimes not so much. Whereas during the week, you know, people are typically in their routine from a Monday to Friday. You know, they go to work, you know, they're checking their emails and so on and so forth. So I would highly recommend, if you're going to email, at the very least 5 times per week, and you know, at best I would say 7 times per week, obviously. So email marketing summary, you know, email marketing is obviously very profitable, as we discussed in the introduction. Email marketing is a skill, okay? It is not a art, so you will actually improve at it, okay? I'm a testament to that. When I first started, I was confused and I was scared, and I was worrying that people weren't going to read what I was writing and so on and so forth. But I improved rather quickly, actually, and I know that you will as well. It is 6 and 7 figure earners say that its business's profits come from email marketing, and so that's just to kind of reiterate the importance of it. I remember hearing a lecture once from a 7 figure earner who swore on his life that his statistics showed to him that 80% of his profits, 80%, came from email marketing. Okay, so obviously it is very, very important part of the business, and you definitely need to get onto it. So look, start emailing today. Okay, you've watched this video, you know what you need to do. Start emailing today. Suspend your disbelief as to whether this works or not, and just start emailing if you've got a list. If not, you need to start building one. Okay, practice the Seinfeld and launch methods of email marketing. Obviously you're going to be starting with the Seinfeld method, you know, of emailing not much about not much, right? So you email about something that you learned today. Perhaps maybe you can share a couple of these email marketing tips that you've watched in this video with your list, okay? And you'll see that people will resonate with that because they'll appreciate it. Not everyone's going to see this video, but you did. And so in my opinion, it's your business obligation and responsibility to be able to share what you learn with your prospects and your potential customers. So, and follow email marketing tips that I've outlined in this video already, okay? Follow the email marketing best practices that I've outlined in this video as well. But most importantly, have yourself a bit of fun and enjoy yourself. You know, it is a stressful thing to do because it's something new and it's something different, perhaps maybe something you've never done before, and if you've done it, maybe you weren't so successful, and that's why you're looking for more tips and best practices. But you need to remove your fear and doubt as to whether email marketing really works. This really does work, and as I mentioned earlier on, the 6 and 7 figure earners say that it's the lifeline of their business, the bloodline. You know, they say cash flow is king for a business, and the cash flow comes from email marketing. Okay, so what's your next step? Basically, I need you to click on the link as highlighted here, or if you want to, you can click on the link below, and you need to get yourself an email marketing platform. Again, I'm recommending GetResponse because you can join for 30 days for free, and you can see what it's really about. It's so easy to use. But look, I want to thank you for dropping by and watching this video. If you have any questions at all about this email marketing, please comment below this video, or if you're at my blog post, go ahead and write a comment below the blog post, and I guarantee that I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Do opt in to my 7-day training course. It is something that is going to kickstart your internet marketing like nothing you've ever seen before, and it is 100% free. Allow me to provide some value to you that you've been searching for. Allow me to be your coach and help you achieve the goals that you set out to achieve online today. Thank you so much for your time. Take care, and we'll talk soon.